Let's talk about appropriate and inappropriate terms when referring to deaf persons. Deaf and hard of hearing people have the right to choose what they wish to be called, either as a group or on an individual basis. Overwhelmingly, deaf and hard of hearing people prefer to be called deaf or hard of hearing. There are many terms often seen in print, heard on radio and television, and picked up in casual conversations that are considered inappropriate within the deaf community. Hearing impaired is no longer an appropriate term because of the negative connotations of the word impaired. This term focuses on what people can't do and establishes the standard of hearing and anything different as impaired, substandard, hindered, or damaged. It implies that something is not as it should be and ought to be fixed if possible. The term deaf and dumb was originated by the Greek philosopher Aristotle, who believed that deaf individuals were not capable of being taught, learning, or thinking critically. Over time, the word dumb came to mean the word silent. However, this term is deeply offensive to deaf and hard of hearing individuals for several reasons. Deaf and hard of hearing individuals are not silent. They have various methods of communication, such as sign language, lip reading, vocalizations, and other forms. Communication is not restricted to only those who can hear, and using one's voice is not the only way to communicate effectively. The word dumb now also carries the connotation of being stupid, which has led to the belief that if someone can't use their voice well, they must be less intelligent. This is a baseless and discriminatory assumption. Deaf-mute is another offensive term. Mute also means silent and without voice. This label is technically inaccurate since deaf and hard of hearing people generally have functioning vocal cords. Again, because deaf and hard of hearing people use various methods of communication other than or in addition to using their voices, they are not truly mute. Let's talk about the term disability. Whether it is okay to refer to deafness as a disability depends on the context and the perspective of the individual being referred to. From a medical perspective, deafness can be considered a disability because it results in a significant hearing loss and can impact an individual's ability to access information and participate fully in society. In this context, using the term disability can be seen as a neutral or even empowering description that acknowledges the challenges faced by deaf individuals and the need for accommodations and support. However, many members of the deaf community see deafness not as a disability, but as a cultural identity and a unique experience of being deaf in a hearing-dominated world. For them, using the term disability can be stigmatizing and reinforce negative stereotypes and attitudes. In conclusion, it is important to be mindful of the perspective of the individual being referred to, and to use language that is respectful and appropriate in the context. If in doubt, it may be helpful to ask the individual how they prefer to be referred to or described. So now let's talk about the do's when it comes to referring to deaf individuals. Do find out how the patient self-identifies. Deaf and hard of hearing are not negative terms in the deaf community. Understand the term deaf with a capital D refers to more than an audiological condition.